You've probably noticed it, that weird heaviness in your head, like your thoughts are moving through mud. You try to focus, but your brain feels scattered like 1,000 browser tabs open at once. You read a paragraph, and by the end, you can't remember what it said. You pick up your phone for a quick check, and suddenly 30 minutes are gone. You close the app, and your mind still hums like background static. That fog, that's not random. That's your brain waving a flag, saying something's wrong. It's easy to think you've just gotten lazy or distracted, or that maybe you're bad at focusing now. But what's really going on is deeper. You're not broken. Your brain is reacting to an environment it was never built for. Every day you wake up and flood your brain with more stimulation than it was meant to handle in an entire week. Before you even get out of bed, you've already seen notifications, checked messages, glanced at trending videos, and scrolled through headlines. That's dozens of micro hits of dopamine before you've even brushed your teeth. Your brain chemistry has already started shifting before your body's fully awake. Dopamine isn't the pleasure chemical people always say it is. It's a motivation signal. It tells your brain what's worth paying attention to. But here's the problem. Your brain doesn't care if that dopamine comes from something meaningful like finishing a task, or something empty like a short video that lasts 8 seconds. Every ping, swipe, and scroll tells your brain, this is important, this deserves focus. So it builds a loop. You get used to constant novelty, and slowly your baseline for stimulation climbs higher and higher. That's the hidden reason behind brain fog. Overstimulation. You're not tired, you're overloaded. The brain's attention system, especially the prefrontal cortex, depends on balance. When dopamine spikes nonstop, it stops responding properly. The receptors become less sensitive, like they're burned out from noise. So when you sit down to do something that requires real focus, reading, studying, working, it feels almost impossible. The brain wants the next quick reward, not sustained effort. It's like trying to meditate next to a rock concert. You might have noticed this pattern. You start something serious, get bored quickly, open a new tab, grab your phone, check a message, get a little hit of interest, and then feel drained again. That's dopamine dysregulation in real time. It's not just a bad habit, it's neurochemical conditioning. Your brain has adapted to a high dopamine environment, and now normal things feel dull. Focus isn't gone, it's buried under layers of noise. On top of that, there's cortisol, the stress hormone. When your mind is constantly jumping between tasks, it triggers low-level stress responses. Even harmless notifications push your body into micro-alertness. Over time, your cortisol stays slightly elevated. You don't notice it consciously, but your nervous system does. That steady tension burns mental energy, makes it harder to concentrate, and interferes with memory. You start forgetting why you walked into a room or rereading the same line 10 times because your working memory, the part of your brain that holds short-term information, is being hijacked by stress signals. Sleep adds another layer to the mess. When you scroll late at night, your brain gets exposed to blue light that suppresses melatonin. You go to bed tired but wired. You fall asleep later, you wake up groggy, and your brain never fully clears the metabolic waste that builds up from neural activity during the day. That waste literally clouds your thinking. Scientists call it the glymphatic system's failure. That foggy, disconnected feeling in the morning isn't just being tired. It's your brain still full of unprocessed leftovers because it didn't get time to clean itself properly. Then there's nutrition. The brain runs on glucose, but it depends on micronutrients, magnesium, B vitamins, omega-3s, to maintain neurotransmitter balance. Most people eat fast food or skip real meals, relying on caffeine to fake alertness. Caffeine blocks adenosine, the chemical that signals fatigue, so you feel awake, but it doesn't fix the underlying issue. When the caffeine wears off, adenosine floods back, and you crash harder. That cycle adds more confusion to your focus. You're stimulating a brain that's starving for recovery. So now you've got overstimulation, chronic stress, poor sleep, and nutrient imbalance, all feeding each other. That's the perfect storm for brain fog. It's not that your brain can't focus, it's that it's trying to protect you from more input. Your body is pulling the emergency brake, but you keep pushing the gas. The result is mental static. Fog. You can't think clearly because your brain has lost its signal-to-noise ratio. The worst part is how normal it feels now. Everyone's living like this, so nobody questions it. Constant noise has become the baseline. You're checking your phone while watching TV while half working on something. That fragmented attention trains your brain to never stay in one place. You've turned focus into a muscle you no longer use. So when you finally need it, for real, it's weak. The mind drifts because it's not conditioned to hold one thing anymore. But there's a way back, not through motivation or productivity hacks, through chemistry reset. Your brain is plastic. It rewires based on input. If you stop feeding it chaos, it will find balance again. You can reverse this. The first step isn't adding something new, it's removing excess stimulation. It's giving your brain silence, boredom, and rest. Those moments when you're not doing anything, that's when your default mode network activates. The part of your brain responsible for creative thinking, reflection, and memory consolidation. But you rarely access it anymore because you fill every gap with noise. People think brain fog means their brain is broken, but it's actually a defense. When you flood your neural circuits with too much dopamine and cortisol, your prefrontal cortex, the part that organizes thought, decision-making, and focus, starts to downshift. It's like dimming lights in a room that's too bright. The brain reduces sensitivity to protect itself. That's why you feel blank, detached, or mentally slow. It's not weakness, it's adaptation. The good news is, adaptation works both ways. If your brain can adapt to chaos, it can also adapt back to clarity. But the process isn't instant. When you start cutting stimulation, fewer screens, slower pace, your brain will rebel at first. You'll feel restless, bored, maybe anxious. That's withdrawal. Your dopamine receptors are recalibrating. You're rebuilding tolerance for calm. And once you push through that adjustment period, something shifts. The fog starts lifting. You start noticing details again. Time feels slower in a good way. You can read longer, listen longer, think deeper. Your brain starts trusting stillness again. That's where the real reset begins. And it's not about perfection, it's about creating a rhythm that lets your mind breathe. Because focus isn't something you force, it's something you allow when distraction stops dominating every second. You already know what's causing it. Too much noise, too much dopamine, too much stress. Your brain's been running on overload for so long that it forgot how to stay still. So let's fix it. Straight up, the first move isn't to add anything new. It's to stop feeding the problem. Your brain needs silence before it can find clarity. That means putting real distance between you and distraction. When your phone is near you, your brain is half listening for it, even when it's silent. The fix is simple. Get it out of reach. Turn off what doesn't matter. Every piece of unnecessary input keeps your mind in survival mode. When you give your brain a break from constant stimulation, it starts recalibrating. At first, it's uncomfortable. You'll feel restless or bored, and that's normal. That's dopamine withdrawal. Push through it. Boredom is not the enemy. It's recovery. Once you let your brain breathe, you'll notice your thoughts getting sharper again, slowly but surely. Then comes structure. Your brain loves rhythm. Set specific times to work, rest, and disconnect. Don't mix them. When you're working, work deeply, one thing at a time. When you rest, rest completely. That separation rebuilds focus because your brain learns what mode it's in. Mixing everything, scrolling, working, eating, watching, confuses your system. Fix your sleep. No device, no screen an hour before bed. You need deep sleep for your brain to clear out the waste that causes fog. That's when your focus actually repairs itself. You can't cheat your way around bad sleep. Fix your fuel, drink water, eat real food. No energy drink or caffeine overdose will fix a brain running on empty. Your focus is biological, not magical. If you're tired, dehydrated, or living on sugar, no amount of willpower can make you think clearly. Move your body. Walk, stretch, lift, whatever. Movement resets your nervous system and clears stress hormones. Even a short walk can reset focus better than hours of staring at a screen. Then train your focus back. Set a timer and do one thing. Don't chase perfection, chase completion. Every time you hold focus a little longer, your brain relearns how to sustain it. It's like rebuilding muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it gets. And deal with your mental clutter. You can't focus if your mind is full of noise from stress, anxiety, or unresolved tension. Talk, write, unload, whatever clears your head. Your brain can't hold clarity and chaos at the same time. Finally, build friction between you and distraction. Delete shortcuts, move apps, sign out. Make it slightly harder to open the things that waste your time. That small bit of resistance protects your attention better than motivation ever could. You'll notice something after a week or two. Time slows down. You think clearer. You finish things. The fog lifts. That's your brain coming back online. You didn't lose your focus. It was buried under overstimulation. Once you strip that away, clarity returns on its own. Your brain isn't broken. It's just tired of noise. Give it silence, structure, real rest, real food, movement, and single-task attention. Do that consistently, and your focus will come back stronger than ever. Not because you forced it, but because you finally stopped fighting against how your brain is designed to work.